Hello, I'm going to show you now how to add an automatic table of contents to a Word document. Now how we do this, there's two main ways. We can either go and tag text that we want to be included in the table of contents manually, or we can employ a style which includes the tagging within it. Now I'm going to show you how to do it manually, and then I'm going to show you some preset styles that include this tagging, give you a bit of an idea of what this is as well. So first thing you need to do is, if you're going to do this manually and not use a style, you need to highlight any piece of information that you want to actually turn into an item that's going to be in the table of contents. So for instance, I would like the overview to be, maybe the first item in my table of contents. I'm going to drag over that. I go to this little button here in the paragraph section, just towards the bottom right, click onto that, and then this screen pops up. Now the thing that we're interested in is this button here with a drop down box next to it called outline level. If I pop that down, I have one called body text, then I've got level 1, level 2, all the way to level 9. Now body text is, it may as well say from, ignore me. Body text is text that the table of contents is going to completely ignore, and it's almost like treated as if it's your section content, because what we're doing when we tag this is we're saying that this is kind of the start of a section, the heading for a section, but body text, that's the stuff we ignore from the point of view of the table of content. Level 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 9, this is the kind of the order of priority. So if I go for overview and go for level 1, that means it's going to be sort of like, how to put it, almost like a mummy bear or daddy bear title. So it's kind of like quite an important title, sort of like the main point that you're making in that section. If you had within your overview 4 or 5 different sections, you would maybe make the title for overview level 1, and then you would go back in and reselect all of the individual section titles and maybe make them level 2, because when you then do the table of contents, all of the level 2 items you've tagged, they become kind of indented beneath whatever's in level 1. So it's all to do with how it looks in the table of contents. So I'm going to do the same step for the closing section. So I'm going to drag over this. Again, click into this button here. Instead of body text, I want that to be level 1. And then when I'm ready, click OK. So that's the first stage. I've done my tagging, so I know which is a title really that's going to be picked up by my table of contents. So how I now produce my table of contents, I go to References, and I've got a button here which is called Table of Contents. Pop that down. Now you want to pick one that says automatic table of contents. Can you see just there? You've also got a lot more table of contents on Office Online, so if there are any, it will come up and give you the option. But I'm just going to pick one of these, so I'll pick the first one. And then can you see there it's put contents in, overview is on page 1, closing is also on page 1. Okay. What it will also do, if you hold your control key down and click onto one of the items in the table of content, can you see it takes you to it? It's kind of like a hyperlink. Just to show you how this works as well from the point of view of updating, if I now go down here, I'm going to go to the left of closing and press Control and the Enter key. That's going to insert a page break. I'll do the same on the overview as well. Click to the left of there, Control and the Enter key. Can you see that's dropped that down to a new page? So Control and Enter is a nice keyboard shortcut for adding a page break in. But can you see there, it's not changed the table of contents. So I have to click onto it, click Update Table. So do I want to update the page numbers only? I could do that. Or do I want to update the entire table? I tend to always update the entire table, because if any more titles have been tagged as being level 1, 2, 3, in the meantime, it's going to pull those changes in. But if I now click OK, can you see it's now telling me that overview is on page 2, closing is on page 3. Now look, to add another item in, I'm going to drag over this. If I go to Home, Paragraph, I'm going to make this level 1 and then click OK. Now I'm going to go and make a slight change to my other title so I can show you the indenting. I'm going to drag over there, paragraph. Instead of level 1, I'm going to pick level 2 for the overview. And instead of level 1 for the closing, I'm going to pick level 2 for the closing. So drag over there, click onto this, and I'm going to make that level 2. Once I'm ready, click OK. If I now go back to my table of contents, click Update Table, Update Entire Table, and then click OK, can you see my Outland the Spice, which I made level 1? It's kind of like the main title for that section. But can you see Overview and Closing? They've indented a little bit. And likewise, if you used a level 3 and it was a title which was beneath Overview somewhere, that's going to indent a little bit more. So the levels, it kind of indents it and gives a slightly more higher importance in the table of contents in terms of how it looks to the lower level numbers, if you see. So that's how you can do an automatic table of contents and manually tag using the outlining level. The other option, and I'm just going to undo everything I've just done so I can show you. The other option is you can actually use styles for this. You can create your own style, and if you want to see how to create a style, go and have a look at one of the other Word courses and it'll explain styles a bit more. Or if you want to be a bit lazy like I can be, there's standard styles already built into Word called heading 1, 2, 3, 4, and these have the outline level built into them. And if I just show you that, if I right click on heading 1, go to modify, and then go to format, paragraph, can you see heading 1 is set to outline level 1? And once you use heading 1, heading 2 will appear in this list as well, so that'll be level 2. But if you watch here, all we do, drag over like so, that's a heading 1. Okay. If I then come along now, I'm going to highlight over my overview. That's going to be a heading 1 as well. And let's come along and drag over my closing, heading 1 just there. So rather than me having to go manually tag them, I've done two things. I've actually changed the appearance of the title, made it look a little bit better. And I'd recommend you create your own title variation, but it's also tagged it as being an outline level. After that, exactly the same steps. References, table of contents, pick one of the automatic table of contents, and bish bash bosh, there you go. Can you see Outland the Spices, overview, closing have all been picked up as well. One other thing to note as well, as soon as you've done any kind of outlining within your document, you get this little, can you see almost like a little sort of triangle against the title? Well, what this allows you to do, can you see you can actually close down the sections just to the titles? And if I click that button again, can you see it pops it back open? So this can be quite good for sort of crushing down your document and seeing a bit of an overview as well. So that is a bit about how to create an automatic table of content within Word.